You may well have been wondering where these two recordings that I've just done here, A and B, are, where they come from. What was I facing? Well, yesterday was a very unusual day for me. I mean, it was a continuation of things that have been building up. But I went to my friend and I helped her daughter do the reading, and the reading was absolutely appalling. It was basically, goodness gracious, I would never have given this to my two boys. And it was a story, I can't remember the title. I don't think it's a good idea to remember it. But it was an absolute prelude to what was going to happen that day, yesterday. It was about a fair, a witches' sort of parade. And it's actually the local townsfolk, elderly people who put this on each year, so to speak, in the story. And the kids are all there with their mums and dads, and they're watching, and some things are just too frightening, and I don't think that should have been put on for the parade. I mean, it spoils the parade. We don't mind scary things, but not things that are too scary, and so on. The whole thing, and the story as it develops, is, if you like, these elderly people playing a part for the children, that they might learn to be courageous in the face of evil, apparent to them, but of course set up by the, if you like, the local old folks guild, concerned as good grandparents of the society to teach the children appropriate for life, adult life. Now, okay, I got the message. Yeah, I can see what you're doing, the writer of the story. Well done. Yes, in a way. My goodness. I mean, I would never have chosen this book for my kids, but... And the girl I'm helping, I think she's 13, and she's reading very competently. I mean, too loud and too fast, but she's a good girl. And little did I realize this was God playfully telling me what he was going to do that day, as I entered into what I mistakenly keep taking as a reality, this battle I have over the joint care and custody of my little girl of 10, and the appalling battles I have with her mum, my ex-wife. And it was a hard day for Marshall. I'm not sure how hard it was for my ex, because of course we get lost in the play, don't we? We get lost in the performance if we're not careful. And I mean, honestly, I was staying as conscious as I could, but I definitely lost the plot from time to time, and rallied as I, if you like, did what I thought was reasonable. And hang on, let's not let this story develop more and more out of hand. What's the best thing to yield here? Very often it's to know when to yield, when to just say, oh, it looks like things have changed, rather than resist each pressure on you like the plague. You actually say to yourself, what's this possibility here you're showing me, Father? Perhaps I should say yes to this. I don't mean acquiesce in evil. I mean not assume that things are evil, although it may be evil intent on part of, apparently on the part of those around you, from your perspective. But it may not be. And even if it is, well, it will only teach you the more how to cope with difficulties. And it is your maturing in such experience that makes you a simply wonderful person and such a blessing to the rest of us. So you're going to stay with it, aren't you? In the trust, in the awareness, you see, in the consciousness of your Heavenly Father. Not simply you battling in the dark, but you with your consciousness firmly fixed on God and what He's showing you. Do you see, in some sense, you cannot be moved? The whole play is orchestrated by God. You're going to trust Him utterly for it. That you do the right thing. And you'll make all sorts of mistakes, and I did. I just did. I had good intention not to make mistakes, but, we're children, for goodness sake, we're children. Of course we make mistakes. You think He loves us the less? You think He can't come to our rescue? You think He doesn't make it all as just a dream? Sometimes even a few minutes later, or a day or two, it slips into the past as part of the never-ending story of His love for us. Bless you. Keep that awareness. Do so, keep that awareness. And you will learn incredibly quickly and be wonderfully blessed. Bless you. Thank you, Dad. Well, I can't give you the details of it because, it's a shared custody situation that we as parents have, and with all the difficulties that can have. Well, I don't know about all the difficulties, but certainly it's got its difficulties, I can tell you. And they overwhelm, I think, certainly me at times, and probably my ex as well. And we battle on. It's all part of the play. And neither of us do necessarily particularly well, but always appropriate to what God is anticipating in the lesson. We are where we are in our path to glory, and there is no judgment. There's only the loving care of our Dad. Thank God. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad. Love you. Thank you, Dad. And yet again, I found my way out of a flat state that I may have had, 2 or 3 hours ago. It's nearly 6 o'clock in the morning now. And what did I do? I did the Kriya as the first recording today. It explains something of that. And then, of course, I turned to my usual practice, that is a blessing. What should I be doing as regards these recordings? I thought, perhaps I better. And I produced the first recording A. And one thing led to the next. And now I've done 3 recordings. I think this one's C, isn't it? And I'm flying again. Absolutely renewed, refreshed, up and running again. You see, you need to understand your best way of recovery, and of course you need to practice it, especially when you need it. When you're down, when things don't look quite good, and you're not feeling the spiritual joy and gladness that you thought you had permanently. We don't have permanently, of course, because nothing's permanent in this world of change, this universe of uncertainty, scarcity, and so forth. Everything changes. And we are children in it, not masters of the show. Our trust is that God is master of the show. Not just master either, but our lovely dad, our wonderful dad, our dearest friend, we as children. I may have told you that once or twice before. Bless you.